Hi, friends. It's your host, Meg.
And Amanda. Welcome to Wake Up and Listen, the podcast where two friends get real about purpose, intuition, and laughing through the chaos.
If you're into personal growth with a side of giggles and maybe an existential breakthrough or two, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. It's time to
Wake up and listen.
Hi, everybody. It's your host, Meg. Welcome to the Wake Up and Listen channel, where we hope to inspire you to wake up your mind and listen to your body. I am here to chat it up today about coming home to yourself. The last 9 months have been completely transformative for me. My life is completely different. My career is different. My family dynamic is different. My day-to-day life just is so unrecognizable. And life feels really awesome and really shitty all at the same time. And I had an opportunity to scroll a little the other day, and I came across this really beautiful graphic of a spiral. And in the spiral, it had these like different little, words or phrases that essentially broke down these different, I'm going to call them chapters, that if you walk through these chapters in your life, it allows you to come home to yourself. And that is something that was just so relatable for myself, because the past 9 months, I have been just finding a way to come home to myself since life just looks so different. And I'm going to shout them out. The person that posted this is at inner_goddess_awakening, which is also just so aligned with this channel and everything we're trying to do here. So shout out to them. Your content is amazing. Keep sharing your gifts. I ended up doing a full journal just on this graphic, because during this time where all these changes have been happening, I was just really inspired and kind of forced into becoming my own best friend. Because although I have some of the most authentic and incredible friends in the world, I went from getting to be surrounded by them on a daily basis to maybe visiting or getting to see them once a week or sometimes even once a month. So that support system feels very different. And I learned to be my own cheerleader and my own mother too, just through this season of losing my father-in-law, having my career change, Cammie going into daycare, and just all of these different parts of me that are so different. It's taken a lot of like grit and just drive and soul searching to figure out how to navigate that and not completely lose myself. So if this is something that you feel like you can relate to and you're struggling with, also definitely continue listening. I hope something resonates with you and you leave this episode just a little bit different. I hope I inspire you to build so much trust and respect for yourself that making the healthy choices simply become a way of life, because you learn to value feeling alive, vital, strong, aware, and cared for by yourself. All that love you choose to pour into you. And I feel like the first step towards getting to this mental milestone is fully embracing the fact that you are your safe space. So something to consider is, how are you showing up to create a safe haven for yourself? What are things in your day-to-day that allow you to just exhale and have that sense of peace and calm? For me, I wake up about at least an hour at minimum prior to the rest of my family, because that is the only window in my entire day where my only concern is myself. And that has completely impacted my mindset and my life. And something you also want to consider is those internal conversations. How are you talking to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? How are you giving yourself that internal feedback at work? Are you saying you're crushing it, I feel so accomplished? Or are you saying, oh my gosh, I didn't get to everything on my list today, so I'm a failure? And those little tweaks in inner conversation is life-changing. What are you doing in regards to movement and strength? How are you showing yourself every day that you are a strong human being, you are a vital human being that has no limitations physically to the experience you can create? when it came to getting solidified in a new movement routine for myself, I haven't weightlifted in over a year probably at this point. I simply do a quick morning routine. I call it my morning anchor. Definitely check out episode 1. Goodbye, people pleaser. Hello, personal power. And I deep dive into my morning routine. It's maybe 5 to 15 minutes every single morning, and it just works on stability, mobility, strength, and I call it like a mental push. And I do that every single day, and that has transformed my life. But on top of that, the only type of movement I'm getting is a lunchtime walk. And then I try and plug into Body Beats at the Body by K. Scotty gym locally in West Greenwich. And I feel incredible. And it's amazing to just witness what that consistent work can do versus that quantity or that like volume of work every single day. Because I was that person that used to dedicate 30 minutes to an hour to movement every single day, and that just wasn't feasible for where I'm at. So I was like, well, if I can't do 30 minutes to an hour, how much time do I have? I have 15 minutes to dedicate to this in the morning because I also want to prioritize a couple other things. So just if I could give you one takeaway is just first meet yourself where you're at. And then celebrate your progress and consistency. Be your own cheerleader. Don't look to other people for validation. That is like such a draining quality that I'm still working on. But be your own fucking cheerleader. Just clap for yourself and see what happens. Drink a tall glass of water first thing every day this week because you're working on intaking more water. Celebrate every proactive step. And one thing that I have not done yet, but I've heard it can do incredible things for your mindset is, shout out to Mel Robbins. She brings up as part of her morning routine, she high fives herself in the mirror. And that just does something for your brain to, again, just establish being your own cheerleader, and it instills a sense of confidence and worth. So if that's something that everyone can take half a millisecond to high five themselves in the mirror. So I'm going to start doing it, and maybe you should too. And then there's this piece of forgiving and letting go. Life gets fucking hard, guys, and every circumstance is completely different. Every human experience is completely different. So I think we need to start giving each other a little more grace. Everyone is so upset. I think we all just need to take a breath and gain perspective and just consider more. I feel like we are all so self-centered in this world that we live in right now that we don't even consider other perspectives. And when you take this perspective of forgiving and letting go of things that have been hanging on your back for potentially years on end, maybe even decades, it is so freeing. I actually navigated this chapter in life when, shout out to the beautiful couple Garen Jones and Blair Jones. They were the hosts one weekend at one of the Herbalife events. I've been an Herbalife distributor for almost 10 years now. And they did an event once, and Garen did this huge personal development piece on forgiveness. And he gave us a prompt on how to touch base with people throughout our lifetime that you felt like there was some remorse or just like negativity around. And I got really brave with that task, and it brought so much grace and peace to places that I didn't even think were holding me back, because these were hang-ups that I had years ago that I was over, but it was just like an unresolved situation. So it still lingers even if you don't realize it. And that was so helpful for me. The amount of weight lifted off your shoulders when you do that, when you just choose to forgive and let go, is indescribable. So if this is a huge hang up for you, I highly recommend that as a first step for just freeing yourself a little more in life. And something important to note when you do this is it's okay if the other party chooses to hang on to that resentment and the hard feelings. So long as it is resolved in your heart and you feel pride of the ownership and resolution of that situation. The lingering stress and pain is something they are choosing to hang on to. So feel proud about, again, celebrate every proactive step. I'm so proud of you. I don't know, I just felt called to say that. But seriously, thank you so much for plugging into this channel, and I am so proud of you for pressing play, because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't feel really passionate about what I was saying. And Amanda feels very similarly in that way because of her life experience, and we hope that you truly feel awakened in this space and you feel safe and you feel loved and supported. Hit that subscribe button so you are the first to know when an episode drops on the channel. Let's get back to the episode. Next thing that transformed my life is building those gentle habits. So my morning anchor routine is definitely one of them. Starting to go for a lunch walk is definitely one of them. Another fun one that I recently started doing is doing my best to do 30 squats every hour at work. The only reason I've been inconsistent with this is because I don't want to listen to an alarm go off every hour. So I just do my best to recognize if an hour has gone by, and then I do my 30 squats. And I'm telling you guys, I feel amazing. My hips feel great. My lower back feels great, because one of the biggest challenges with this job shift is I went from standing up the majority of my day, moving all around or just stationary standing, to sitting at a desk my entire day. So this small amount of movement once an hour, I'm telling you, you all have time to do something like this. You can pick whatever move you want or just take a lap around the office. Anything to get up off your ass for at least a minute every hour can change your life, especially if you're over 30. If you know, you know. Drinking more water is another very impactful thing you could focus on. Cutting out processed sugars. My rule of thumb is trying to keep sugars under 40 grams a day, which if you start tracking may be shockingly low for you, because there is just sugar in everything. So don't beat yourself up if you start tracking this habit and you're really high. Sugar is essentially a drug for your brain, guys. So try not to just cut it out completely all at once. Definitely limit things a little at a time if you do find that your sugar intake is high. Walks daily, life-changing. If you have a weight loss goal, doctors recommend about 10,000 steps a day for weight loss. I strive for minimum 7,500 at my desk job. Before I started doing my squats and before I added in my walk, I was averaging like 3,500 a day, which is when I knew I had to do something. And then a morning mindset practice, whether it be simply either reflecting or just writing down 3 things you're grateful for every day, or you want to do a longer journal, take a walk outside, be unplugged, whatever that may be in the morning, listen to meditations or read positive podcasts. There are so many options to just improve that mindset and impact that mindset first thing in the morning. I have found that to be extremely impactful for how the rest of my day unfolds. And then another thing that's been really powerful for my heart and my mindset is plugging into a workout class regularly. I go to the Body by Scotty gym once a week. I plug into Body Beats with my girl Becky. If you scroll before the rebrand, I actually interviewed Becky on the Shits and Gigs channel. And that was a great interview. She's an amazing being, and she's doing incredible things to inspire women to use body, movement, and music to just be a full release mentally and physically. So definitely check that out. But that has been huge, plugging into any type of something that provides that movement and that physical release for yourself. I had mentioned to watch episode 1. I did not mention to click the link in the description. 2 exciting things there. There are a couple downloadables from both Amanda and I. Mine is how to build that morning anchor routine. So definitely click that link. And then there's also a bestie discount for Renfro scales and all products. So definitely use that code if you would like to check out any of their equipment. They have, we have their smart scale, which I absolutely love because it gives so many different insights in regards to my body composition. And then they have a jump rope that like counts the jumps for you, and just a lot of healthy habit builders. So definitely treat yourself to that discount if you are interested, and read that morning anchor guideline graphic if you're interested in building these gentle habits into your life. And this one kind of ties in, but another chapter that is beautiful is taking the time to embrace self-reflection, whether this be taking silent car rides and just just let yourself be with yourself. Get your face off the screen, turn off all stimulation, and just be. Roll down the windows, be present to the sound of the cars whooshing by and the birds and people talking on the phone in the car next to you. Like, just let yourself feel your experience. We're so stimulated and it's so distracting. Another fun thing is like you could do a Dear Diary. Remember those? Like everyone had a diary and then we just stopped having diaries. Such a great habit, journaling it out. And then showers are another great way to reflect with yourself, or baths, whatever floats your boat. Honoring your needs is definitely a huge chapter that is very impactful. It is so hard because we are all selfish in the way that our perspectives are blocked. However, we are overbearing in the way we show up for others because of the pressure put on by society. So honoring our own needs feels literally impossible sometimes. At least that's how I feel. Definitely comment if you agree. But just because you've gotten to a place where you've built a solid routine does not mean you can't adjust things day to day. So for me, I'm very OCD in the fact when I have a routine, I love to stick with it. And when something interferes with that exact flow, it like really triggers me. So where I'm trying to give myself more grace is allowing myself to pivot whenever is necessary. Whenever it starts to feel icky, I change it up. Because why am I going to continue feeling icky? It's just not worth it. And just set a general standard for a way to cater and care for your mind and body and your spirit daily. But choose habits based on overall need, especially women with becoming aware to your cycle. That's like a huge gauge for how you can alternate your routine and the things that you eat and the type of movement that you do throughout your cycle. There's just so many different ways you can cater your day-to-day self-care to just meet your body where it's at. And one big one for me over the last 9 months has been getting reconnected with my emotions and allowing myself to really feel. Because of all the transitions that I had to navigate in such a short period of time, my father-in-law, my job, and Cam going to daycare were all in a matter of literally a month, I'm pretty sure. So a lot of big pivots and changes. My interview was literally the Tuesday after my father-in-law passed away. Like, it was very fast. So I had to kind of go in survival mode again. And survival mode was literally just something I came out of, considering my motherhood transition was a bit chaotic and very overwhelming for my way of life. I was just feeling like I was figuring it out, and then all of this happened, and it was just the worst and the best things all at once, and that was a mindfuck, to be honest. So yeah, just so many of us are in survival mode and we don't honor our feelings as we navigate day to day. So taking the time to just let yourself feel. Silent car rides, again, powerful opportunity to do that. When you shower, take a bath, powerful opportunity to do that. It's just, you need to give yourself that time to feel, because if you don't, it just harbors inside you and it serves no good. And then pause and acknowledge. Pressing pause and witnessing and acknowledging your efforts to reap the most out of your human experience is crucial. Just acknowledge all the ways you're showing up for yourself, even on the days like you felt like you didn't. Did you wash your face? Did you make your bed? you are winning, even on the days you feel like you're not. If you never stop to consider this, life will just continue to pass on by and you'll never feel fulfilled. Each day is filled with so much magic in the smallest of moments if you just broaden your perspective and live on purpose. My hope is that you feel more connected to yourself after this. Our channel is here to give you the tools and inspiration to wake up to your mind and listen to your body. Because all the answers are in you, boo. Everything you're searching for, you already have it if you just choose to wake up and listen. Thanks for tuning in. We'll chat soon. Toodles.